Beta is now live. Hello and happy Friday, everybody. It is almost the weekend, and today we have some awesome guests from Beyond Borders Collective. So let me get them on, and then I will introduce them, and we'll get our Friday started. So let's go here. Hey, how are y'all?
Hey,
Hello, how are
doing
you
good.
doing,
How
Don?
are you?
Good, good. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah,
Now,
thanks for having us.
yeah, no, for sure. So everybody, this is Domingo bringing you another Go Live edition, and today we're featuring Beyond Borders Collective, and we are fortunate enough to have both Kirsten and Raul Reyes, who are the co-founders of this amazing company. As you can see, I am wearing the blanket because I love this thing so much. And actually, it's been cold in the store today, so I'm like, this actually is very, very fitting for me to be hanging out with it. And in fact, is this the same one that you have behind you?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I love it. Good taste.
it is. It's a beautiful one.
That's super. How was the move?
Oh, it was good.
It was good.
We're mainly settled in now, which is awesome. So
Yeah.
Crazy but good.
Yeah, no, I know. I know that you had a couple of hiccups along the way, but now you're moved. Everything is safe and sound, so that's awesome.
Yes.
yeah,
Yes,
we're
absolutely.
good. It feels good to finally be settled and moving forward.
Finally.
Yeah. Well, moving in general is challenging. Then obviously you move from one state to another state.
Yeah.
Then you did it in the midst of a quarantine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what's a little bit of, there's a little fun challenges to go with.
Yeah, we,
I'll
we
lay
like
out.
to live exciting, We like to live on adventure,
I love
It
it.
always
I love
is.
it. Let me say hi to my mom real quick. Hi, mom. How are you? She she's
Oh,
she joins almost all the time, and so I had to give her a little shout out. She's
hi,
so
That's
Mom.
great
cute.
support. That's great
That's
support. I love
awesome.
that.
So obviously, you guys are a husband and wife tag team duo partnership. But I really wanted you to share your story about how you met and just give a little bit more of your story. It's a really cute story, and I think it's awesome. And I was like, I had to ask you to share it with everybody.
Well, since I'm the girl and we love to share those stories, I'll take the lead on that one. So I was actually living in Ecuador for a time doing some volunteer work. I was with an organization and we would go around volunteering different places. And with one of those places, I ended up meeting Raul. Um, Funny insert there is the first time he actually saw me, he introduced himself to me, and I don't remember that. It wasn't until a month later I even knew he
Rejected.
existed. So that's kind of a fun little insert there. But basically, we became friends. He was really great. He took me and some of my friends around Ecuador, actually introducing us to amazing, beautiful places there, and the culture as a local, which is like the best way to do that if you're going to a different country and living there. So basically, he took us around, and one of the places he took us to was Otavalo, which is a marketplace there. It's very famous, very well known. And he introduced us to just the livelihood of the artisans there and how they're basically selling a lot of their work there. They create so many amazing things. He introduced us to several different places, and that's where it kind of hit off. He ended up buying a blanket from an artisan there.
Ah.
And this is my favorite part is he bought this blanket. Actually, we do have that blanket over there. I wish I would have grabbed it.
You can grab it all by all means.
I'll grab it. I'll grab it really
Yeah,
quick.
yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
So Raul, essentially you said, hey, what's your name? Do you have an Instagram account? She's like, no, not really. You're like, but better yet, let me show you around.
Yeah, right. So this was the blanket that he actually got when we were friends. We
Oh,
went to
wow.
a place and he saw it and it was just so beautiful. And this lady, she was talking to him and she was telling him, "Hey, I made this. This is unique. You won't be able to find this anywhere in the store." And Raul, my husband, he's a business owner. He's an entrepreneur. Grew up with a family that is like that in Ecuador. And the second he sees someone just believe in their product so much, and really just sees the value in what they create and the empowerment that they give themselves, he's like instantly sold, not only because of the product being so beautiful, but the person behind it. And that's when I started learning a lot of his heart behind business and all that stuff. But a few months later, he asked me out on a date, and he took me on a rooftop picnic and used this as for us to sit on top of, and use that for the picnic. And then we started dating a year throughout the year, and he reenacted that first date with the same blanket and asked me to marry him, and now it's with us. And one thing I love to tell people is these blankets, they are a part of every amazing area in your life. They create such great ambiance to life's most treasurable moments, and it's one of the things that I absolutely love. So that's how we met, and it kind of integrates with how things started with us and Beyond Borders as well. So
that's such an awesome story, and I didn't know about the blanket as part of it. So that's really cute. I love that so much. I love that.
Yeah,
so
I mean
much.
that was the first one. Yeah, that was the first one I ever got, and it was just beautiful. It was just beautiful how like where things are now versus where it was before. You know. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, did you know at that point this is how you wanted to go into business, or was there an aha moment that finally led you to realize like, hey, let's do this really great idea and what you're doing now?
Yeah. Do you want me to say that, or do you want to go for it?
So at the time, basically the way it went is that at the time I just liked the product. I think it was a great product. I think it needed a little bit of development, but it was good in general, you know, and it was amazing. And I just really felt like I've always wanted that specific. I just personal preference. I love the monochromatic colors. That's why I got that one that is like black and white. And the main reason why we have some of those coming, it's because of me, because I like it personally, and I feel like people should actually look at it and you know, experience those. But getting into the business side of it, there was this one time, it was pretty great. I mean, she was a missionary, she was a volunteer in Ecuador, and you know, I was like, what about we see what we can do with these blankets, you know, so that we can actually you can actually do what you're passionate about as you actually, you know, start something, you know, fund yourself in that way, you know. So it was an interesting way of approaching it, and I was like, you know what, let's just take this to the U.S., you know, let's just take this one. And we were coming to see family, we were coming to just kind of hang out and everything. Just as I mentioned to you, and as a lot of people know, we just threw a few blankets in a suitcase. Let's just take it to the U.S. and see what happens. You know, let's just take it to the United States and see how things go.
See if people love it as much as we do.
So it was amazing how you know, those things, one thing took it to the other, and just taking little steps by little steps. You know, just testing, like the testing part. The is it gonna really work? Does people really like blankets? Do you really, you know? And it was great. I mean, I just remember us like going with like the little suitcase to just kind of show it to people, and just having those like living room meetings with friends and family for them to support us. I mean, that's how we started. That's how small we were, and I mean, it's exciting to just see it.
Yeah, definitely.
So who was your first customer? It had to be a family or a friend, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just connections from around town. From family. I live in a small town in Kearney, Nebraska. That's where I grew up. For those who aren't aware, you can Google it. But it's smaller, and so I had a lot of connections there, and we were able to kind of introduce it to a lot of our family and friends, and to see what their thoughts were. And it was just amazing to see the love that people had for the product.
And I think this is the main thing for us too. You know, she has a heart for missions. I have a heart for business. And I think those two things, sometimes people don't really connect it that well. Or sometimes it's just complicated to understand, you know. It's like either you need to fundraise if you want to be a missionary, but I see it from like let's put it this way. Let's just put it from the private side of it, you know. I really have a deep heart. Like, it is just deep, the love that I have for the people of Ecuador, like for my country. And then, you know, creating a business like this, where from the private standpoint, I'm able to actually, you know, we're able to actually, more than any support, saying they're as important as we are. You know, we're as important as, you know, and we all connect that way. We depend on them as much as they do on us in a lot of ways to just create business in that way, you know. So, you know, saying that it's a good thing to pay them fair, it is a good thing. I mean, that's what you should do. I mean, that's going to be something that you can technically promote a lot, but I mean, it is just the world has been evolving in such a way, and also has been looks at these things as in like, oh well, that's a great thing to have, and that's a great thing to do. When I think that's what actually should come as an understanding of what a business is about. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. So we love that part of it too, the relationship and how the business is set up for our success, for their success. So there's no like, I'm being all like growing, and my people in Ecuador is like, oh well, he's kind of exploiting us. Like that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You know, that's the main thing. I mean, that's just the most important thing for us.
So the biggest culture, to sum that up, like the biggest culture that we definitely instill in our brand is connection, relationship, and empowerment. Really dignifying the hard work that they put into these products, really saying, you know, without them, we wouldn't be where we're at right now. And without the culture, we wouldn't be able to share this. I fell in love with the people and the culture there as well, obviously, and obviously. And that, I mean, that speaks volumes. And, you know, everything that we do, we always strive for connection and relationship building and empowerment. With any of our partnerships, with any of our customers, we always want to take care of them first. And that's just the main value that we have in our hearts for our business.
Yeah, that's great. Now, everybody, today we have the co-founders of Beyond Borders Collective. We have both Karsten and Raul Reyes with us today. Thank you again for joining us on Go Live by Beta.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
Now, I have to ask, now, Raul, you did say that obviously you like that monochromatic style and color palette, but besides what you like, where else do you find inspiration for your next designs and patterns and colors?
So there's a little bit of everything when it comes to designing. Okay, so I love it that my people in Ecuador, they're all over the place, and I love that. I love that because I think that's where things come more creative. I'm a very structured person, so you're gonna be very. It's gonna be very easy to differentiate what I create with them, and then when they create their stuff. You know what I mean? So it is pretty cool when it comes to that. So, you know, like the inspiration behind the designs, we try to give them free range to the people that make it, to just create, you know. And the inspiration mainly comes from like the Andean culture, from the Andes, because we're like right there, you know, like we're like that stripe, like volcanoes and everything. So they really want to represent their culture well, you know. As much as we try to understand, it's a really hard thing to understand, but it's a really beautiful thing to enjoy, which is what I like about it. Because, you know, when it comes to the designs and the inspiration, you know, like the processes, it's just beautiful to see them, how they're like, oh, I created this, what do you think? Like, because one time my friend, like we're friends now, so it's like he calls me to the phone and he's like, man, I created something really awesome, like you gotta see this. And I make some tweaks to your design, and I'm like, oh really? Okay, let me see it. And then it turned out to be great, greater than what I created. So it is just a mix of everything that it is beautiful. I don't know if you want to say something else.
Yeah, no, I just think they do a really great job. They take a lot of inspiration from just what's around them, what surrounds them. You know, Mother Earth is a huge part of the concepts as well. And like he said, you know, they are not like type A personality, you know, they're very, you know, the go with the flow, let's create, let's, you know, sometimes they make even better color schemes and designs than we planned for, which is amazing. Like they take it to the next level. They really do a great job. And a lot of that is just, they think outside the box and look at what's around them for inspiration.
I love to hear my artisan when he tells me that I don't know what I'm talking about.
It's like, you're right. right.
I'm
We
like,
don't
okay,
know.
I guess I don't know a lot. So,
Yeah,
I
no,
love
you.
that
I mean,
because it's great.
you have such an interesting and really unique relationship with your partner. And what I love about it in our initial conversation and even today, and you can very much tell that you see it as a partnership, as an actual relationship, and they're not just a vendor, right? Because oftentimes a lot of
Yes.
people get stuck in that connotation of, oh, my vendor this, my vendor that. And you very much are like family. And you even spoke about that when we initially talked about it. Can you tell us a little bit more about their relationship, even though you dove into it just a hair? And then how often do you get to visit them out in Ecuador?
Okay, so yeah, so we usually go to Ecuador 2 times a year. We aim for 3. This year,
This
not
Yeah.
gonna work for obvious reasons. I don't have to say that, but it's obviously that it's getting hard. But usually we try to go there 2 to 3 times a year, and mainly the way the relationship develops is always like trying to earn trust. Like this relationships with the people from Ecuador. They're indigenous people. It's a different culture that even me that I come from the city. I come from the city. It's a different culture than you go to the highlands of Ecuador. It's a different
Oh,
culture.
okay.
So relating like that and really trying to connect and understand where they come from. They're a very hardworking culture. Like there is no such a thing as a lazy person in their culture. And coming from that part and just really trying to understand where they come from when it comes to business. I love hearing them talk about business because they are more of doers than just waiting to see things happen.
Yeah.
They do it. They're like, oh, I want this to work out. They're like, okay, we're gonna make it work. We're gonna figure it out. As I said, they're all over the place. I love that because it's like, okay, we're just gonna figure it out as we go. There's
Yeah.
no structure, and then we're gonna build as we go. And building a relationship on that's like part of Latino culture. Like that's just that's just who we are. Basically the way it is, and like the ongoing conversations, during COVID, I was able to actually during the pandemic when I remember coming back from Australia and the artisan, like my friend, he calls me and I was like, hey man, I don't know how things are gonna work out or how things are gonna go. And he's like, no, wait, I'm calling to just check up on you, man. I know that you came back just from a trip, and I just want to make sure you're okay. How's your family doing? And I'm like, oh man, this is just real. This got real, and it just really touched my heart.
Yeah.
Because not a lot of people does that, especially now. When it comes to business, it's like just business relationship, but it's beautiful to actually be able to connect that way. To connect in multiple levels than just business, because that's just what makes the story even better when you are actually retailing product or selling product or providing something that is way beyond the actual textile.
Yeah, and what I love about it is that they're now to a point, if I'm correct, you guys are now to a point where you call each other brother, hermano, all the time, which is great. I think that's really amazing, super special.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, no, I mean, you go when you do visit, you get to just go for dinner, and it becomes this really cool. You're around the table, and you're partners, and you're essentially just friends and family. So it's really really cool to hear about.
We love that.
It's so great.
We really love that. Yeah.
Now today, again, we have the co-founders of Beyond Borders Collective. We have both Kirsten as well as Raul Reyes. I had to slow it down when I say Raul Reyes because I will trip over my R's. And then I also, when I say certain words, I have a different accent. So I'm like, I got to slow it down because I speak really fast. And then it all just runs together. So, but yeah, thank you again for joining us today.
Thank
you. I have to ask. So obviously, when you started with us, you started with our sister company, Forum by Beta.
Yeah.
And then obviously that relationship worked out to be really well. And you've now since expanded to many, if not, I can't remember if it was all of our beta stores, but you've expanded to a lot of our beta stores. What has that relationship been like, and what was the reason for the expansion?
Well, I just wanted to share that it was an amazing experience. We started at the beginning with Forum, and then the pandemic hit right when we launched.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And then what really got us on the board of wanting to expand more is just their willingness to think outside the box and really figure out and meet us where we're at as a small business, as a small company, and go, okay, how are you guys affected? And felt like they were really even considering us and where we were at and figuring out how we as a team, as a partnership, can navigate through this challenging time and see how we can actually grow from this instead of, you know, dropping out or not being able to be a part of it. And so that was the most amazing part, is actually sitting down and having a chat with our management team, with Beta and with Forum, and go, okay, like, what options are there? And they had options already set in place. They had vision of what was going to happen, and we were like, we love it. We love that you guys are thinking outside the box and navigating it through this, so that it empowers us and it empowers everybody to grow during this challenging and crazy, uncertain time. And that was the main reason why we decided, like, let's do this. Let's go ahead. Let's go with the plan and let's expand, you know, and we never want to say no to expansion. That's always the best thing. But one of the biggest things is Beta and Forum, they've just really shown that they care for their brands. And that struck a chord in our hearts, because that's what we are, and the essence of the culture of our brand is caring for other people and that empowerment as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was exciting, the fact that instead of, like, you know, deliver a little bit less due to these times, you guys were able to go above and beyond, you know, by putting us in, like, more stores, putting us in, like, more places, you know, so that we can have more exposure. And obviously, as a business relationship, that makes you feel good, because they're not saying, you know what, the option is either staying or that's it, or you can just, you know, like, you know, leave or something, you know. Like, it was just really that caring heart that you guys have as a company that really empowered us. And then obviously that's growth, you know, that really is growth and expansion, which was super great. So we're grateful for what you guys have poured on us, like, it just gave us in this during this, you know, crazy times that we have been living in. And so it's just great. It's been really great working with you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and likewise for us. I mean, honestly, it's so fun to be able to share your story. It's a very interesting story, and it's very, very grassroots. And the fact that you're so tied into the community that you work with to build these textiles and manufacture these textiles. So it's definitely really fun to be able to talk about the uniqueness of the product, and even your stories as well, which I think helps bridge the gap between product and the persons that are actually behind these products as well. So thank you all for all of that as well.
Oh, thank you. It's been such a great opportunity.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Now I have to ask, what's the one thing, or I shouldn't say just one thing, but what are you most proud of since launching your brand? Because you're still technically new. Yeah. For all intents and purposes, right?
Yeah, that's such a broad question. There's so many things.
Well,
but I know he has a really amazing.
I can say we're just excited, and it's just amazing that we're proud of, like, the growth, you know. What I mentioned to you earlier is when I picture myself, you know, and her really starting a business out of a suitcase, and you know, just really getting to a place where you're, you know, retailing on major stores like yours, and just kind of getting to that place little by little, trying to understand the market and everything. It's been just amazing, building the connections along the way, you know, understanding the people that have helped us getting to where we're at right now. You know, it's just like, you know, all the chain that has been created from that very first moment we decided to put blankets on a suitcase and just, you know, take it to the US and see what happened, to this point where we are, you know, growing and expanding. I think that growth and experience and everything has been something that makes us really proud. And also something that makes me really, really proud, even more than anything, is the fact that we're able to say it is possible to have a private company that does good without having to say, hey, buy stuff from me because I do good. It's like the least that you, like, and people, if you're hearing me right now, the least that you need to expect from a brand, the least that you need to expect from them is to be fair and good with people. That's it. Like, that's the least that we need to expect. I don't think people should even ask that. They should understand it, you know, like, we shouldn't
automatically
we
be
shouldn't
doing
yeah,
it.
people should be doing it. Companies
Yeah.
should be doing it already. You know what I mean? And it's nothing, nothing crazy about it. It's just the way it should be. So we're excited about that, and we're proud that we have that relationship with the makers, with the people with the artisans, and the growth that we have experienced.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have Ashley Monks that says your growth has been beautiful to watch, even in just the last few months as well.
Thanks, Ashley.
Ashley, we
Oh,
love them in the UK.
we
It's
do,
great.
and they're great. They're so great.
Now you have, and I know you have some stuff cooking because I follow your Instagram, so I know you're doing pre-sales and some upcoming stuff as well, and there's some exciting new things coming down the pipeline. Is there anything that you would like to share or can share with us?
Yes,
Ooh.
absolutely. So, you've been following us. We're literally sold out of like product.
Yes.
It's crazy. So
Yeah.
people, if you really want to get something, go to Beta.
Go to
Go to
Beta,
Forum.
go to Forum.
They have good stuff. They have great inventory. Like you see Dom wearing it.
Yeah,
It's pretty great. And also like we have a little surprise coming up in
Mhm.
September.
we do.
So guys, stay tuned. It's gonna be pretty cool. It's gonna be pretty great. You guys are
Should
gonna
we,
love it.
should we drop a little hint?
You could.
Okay, it's what kind of hint do you want to drop?
I don't know. You tell me.
it is new product.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the exciting thing. There is something coming up, and
Nice.
it
It is a new
it's a
collection
different
that is
collection, and it's really
Oh.
exciting. That's just a little drop in the water there.
coming. It's
Is there a
different.
certain date that you're going to launch it at on September?
September 1st.
Oh, okay. So the first of the month.
So coming up.
So we're only, yeah, it's already the 21st. So we're days away almost.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna
Days
be
away.
exciting. It's completely different to what you guys are used to, but
Yes.
it's
Okay.
amazing. It's amazing.
It's gonna be really great.
Yeah,
That's
that's a new house
exciting.
creation.
Yes.
So
In-house
it is
creation.
great.
Okay.
Inspired by Raul.
That's awesome. I love hearing that. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Now, as much as I'd hate for this to end, you guys have been amazing, and I want to say thank you so very much for joining me today and taking time out of what I know is a busy schedule. So, again, everybody, this is Kirsten and Raul Reyes. They are the co-founders of Beyond Borders Collective, and to learn more about their products, you can head over to either forumstore.com or beta.com, where you'll be able to learn more about these products. And if you want, you can also book a virtual appointment with one of our many beta testers to really do a little bit more of a deep dive and have a conversation about these wonderful products. But until next time, Kirsten, Raul, thank you so very much. Have a great weekend and stay
Thank
safe,
you.
everybody. Thank you.
Oh, thank
You
you.
Take care.
Bye, y'all.
Patty.
Bye.